Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Otts here. It is Monday, and we're playing the Spurs, and I'm late. I am late. I got up 5 minutes ago, and I scrambled this all together real quick for y'all. Just real quick. All right, let's start it off with the injuries. We got San Antonio today. This is the list for the San Antonio Spurs on their injury list right now. Marcus Morris Sr. out. I thought he got bought out, and he is not actually on their team. I don't understand why he's on the injury list because I was under the impression that Marcus Morris Sr., when he got traded to San Antonio, he got bought out. He's not just on the team. So, but he will not play today, no matter what. There will be no Marcus Morris for the Spurs today. Charles Bassey had a ACL tear, and he's had surgery, so he's going to miss the rest of the season. So he's out. But that's pretty much it for the Spurs as far as injuries. Their lineup is as such right now. We did play them already, and we had a comeback win against them in San Antonio earlier this year. So this will be the second game against San Antonio. They're a bad team. They haven't been winning. They've only got 10 wins this entire season. So this is a game the Raptors should probably win. I'd like them to win it. I mean, I can see why San Antonio hasn't been winning other than Victor. Trey Jones is their point guard. Devin Vassell is their shooting guard out of Florida State. Julian Champagny is starting at small forward now for the Spurs these days. So we'll see Justin's twin brother in the starting lineup. Jeremy Sohan is the power forward, and Victor Wembanyama is the center. Off the bench, they've got guys like Blake Wesley, Keldon Johnson, C.D. Osman, Zach Collins, Malachi Branham, Dominic Barlow, Sandro Mamaluscavali, CD Sissoko, Mama D Diakite. Yeah, that's their team. There's a lot of youth on San Antonio, and they're currently on a losing streak. They've lost how many in a row? Holy crap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've lost 7 in a row. So we beat them tonight. That'll be 8 in a row that the San Antonio Spurs have lost. We've been keeping up with streaks lately. We helped Cleveland continue their streak in the last game. So, let's help the Spurs continue their losing streak. How about that? Let's do that. On the other side of things, our injuries are as such. Marquise Noel is out still with his hamstring. That's it. That is it. Nobody else is listed. We're a very healthy team right now. So Raptors should be putting their best out there right now after the trade deadline and having good health. So, yeah, there you go. There's your injury latest lineup news. Let's see who the Raptors play tonight. There's a little bit of speculation. Will the Raptors switch up the starting lineup? I don't think so. I think our starting lineup's pretty set right now with Quickly, Trent, Barrett, Barnes, and Pirtle. I don't think so. I don't think they're going to switch it. If they're going to switch anything in the starting lineup, they would switch Gary Trent out for somebody else. But I think those other 4 guys are set. They're going to be starting every time. All right, let's do our refs. This is the ref crew for today's game. We've got one of the Miami brothers today as the crew chief. John Goebel is the crew chief from Miami, 18th year, out of Florida International University. His favorite TV show is favorite movie is The Godfather. I don't know if that says something about these refs. Like when the ref has their favorite movie as The Godfather, does that mean there's some sort of like megalomaniac criminals or something? This is like some sort of like, because I don't know. Maybe I'm riffing too crazy off of that. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Favorite musician is he doesn't put a musician. He puts like 3 genres of music on here. It's like John Goebel, a musician is a musician, not like a whole idea of what a music type is. He likes hip hop, salsa, and reggaeton music. We want a musician. Tell us which hip hop artist or which salsa artist or which reggaeton artist you like, John Goebel. This doesn't tell us anything. Favorite meal, skirt steak, black beans and rice and fried plantains. His favorite app is Amazon. He most likely to visit Australia. And his hidden talent is he's a Cuban coffee barista. What is that? Does that mean? I know that they have a different kind of coffee, Cuban coffee. But do you know how to clip like cigars also. Is that part of the job as a Cuban coffee barista? I don't know. John Goble worked as a phys ed teach, phys edge. He got a phys edge, physical as a John Goble got a bachelor's degree in physical education from Florida International University. He's also worked as an account executive and a teacher before joining the NBA. His brother, of course, is in the NBA also, his younger brother, Jason, who is a former Miami cop. John Goble is not the cop Goble brother. Now, this is interesting. We know that the San Antonio Spurs organization has been very, very successful over time. We know that Manu Ginobili, in particular, has the highest win percentage as an NBA player in the history of the NBA. I don't know if people know that. That Manu Ginobili, Emmanuel Ginobili, the great San Antonio six-man, the master of the Euro step, in his whole entire career, he won 75% of his games. That's right. He won three-quarters of all the games he ever played in the NBA. And that's the best mark. So, of course, that's going to influence the ref stats because San Antonio is such a team of excellence. John Goble is the best ref for the Raptors today, the crew chief, but he favors the Spurs. We won the last game this season that John refed. We have a 52% winning percentage, John Goble's presence. Meanwhile, the Spurs have a 68% winning percentage, so he favors the Spurs, 52 to 68. That's the split with the crew chief. I mean, it may not matter because it's also the state of the Spurs right now. The Spurs are not the same Spurs of Popovich's era, most of its era. Let's just put it that way. Even with Victor coming in and them tanking last year or the couple years for him coming up, they have not instantly gotten better with him showing up. They really, really suck. So, in some ways, these percentages don't really tell the story for today. If any of the days, I will tell you that today is that day. The second ref is Tom Washington. Tom Washington's not a nice ref to us, although he was really good to us the last time he refed us. 34 years as an NBA ref. This guy's been a ref for a long, long time, way longer than the Raptors been around. Out of Fort Smith, Arkansas, Tom Washington. His favorite TV show is Martin, starring Martin Lawrence and Shanae. What a great show Martin is. His favorite movie is Boomerang. He likes Brian Culbertson and Stevie Wonder as his favorite musician. Stevie Wonder, that's right. Oh, I could get down as some Stevie Wonder, Tom Washington. His favorite book is the Bible. It sounds like that's the only book that may matter to Tom Washington in his life. And his favorite meal is salmon. That's not a diss on Tom Washington, by the way. He just has his priorities straight. That's right. Tom Washington works with Big Brothers Big Sisters and Children's Choice and a lot of other charities. He's a fantastic person like that. He has a bachelor's degree in sociology from Norfolk State University, and he graduated cum laude from that facility with that degree. Yeah, Tom Washington's a feisty ref. He is historically horrible for the Raptors in their franchise history. We did win the last game he refereed for us this year. We win 44% of our games. And meanwhile, the Spurs win 68%. Once again, another 68% for the Spurs with the ref. 44 to 68 for the Spurs. Tom Washington. Third ref is Jonathan Sterling, the husband. 8th season out of Hampton, Virginia. He is, of course, one half of the married couple that referees in the NBA. Jonathan Sterling, and of course his wife Lauren Holtkamp. His favorite TV show is also Chappelle's Show. So this is a commonality. Wait, did two guys like Chappelle's Show today? No, that was Chappelle's Show was yesterday with Robert Hussey. Never mind. He also likes the show Brother versus Brother. His favorite movie is Coming to America. His favorite musician is Drake. All right, so we got a Drake lover refereeing tonight. The third ref, Jonathan Sterling. Favorite app, Maps. Most like to visit Australia. His bucket list is to dive with the sharks. And his hidden talent is he's a break dancer. That's cool as hell. I'm not going to lie. That is the coolest. So this is the commonality with the refs. Two of them want to go to Australia. And that's Sterling and Goble, the two Johns. They want to go to Australia, mate. His bucket list is to dive with sharks. And he break dances. Are you kidding me, Jonathan Sterling? Can you get out there with the little ballers in the game, bro? and just do a highlight move for us in the middle of it, like just stand inauspiciously to the side of the Lil Ballers performance in tonight's game and just kind of jump in at the end and throw in a little woo moonwalk or get down on the floor and do that crazy head spin. Do it, man. Get on your head and head spin in the middle of the floor for the crowd's entertainment, Jonathan Sterling. You are a breakdancing fool. I love it. I want to see that. Come on, man. We got to see you bust a move. You got this hidden talent. Don't hide it anymore. Show it to the world. Who knows? Maybe it'll be opening up new doors for you when everybody finds out that you can bust a move and some breakdancing, my man. His interests and hobbies include detailing cars, bike riding, golf, water sports, scuba diving, and traveling. And he is married to NBA official Lauren Holtkamp Sterling. That's right. Now, Jonathan's stats are weird, man. They are weird. I'm going to tell you that right now. We lost the last time Jonathan Sterling refed for the Raptors this year. We win 47% of our games with Jonathan Sterling present historically. And meanwhile, the Spurs win. This is crazy. 42%. So he actually favors us. This third ref is actually favoring the Raptors today. Actually amazing. So 2 refs favor the Spurs historically, and 1 ref favors us. And that's the breakdancing fool, Jonathan Sterling, the third ref. There's your ref report, y'all. Yeah. I came in right at 9:30. I literally got up at 9:25, y'all. Wow, I'm good. I made that ref report in like 2 minutes. Really, really quick. Really quick. All right, let's see what y'all are saying on a Monday morning. Monday. Let's drink some water. I don't know why I'm late. I didn't go to bed I went to bed okay time. Maybe it's a Super Bowl hangover. I didn't even watch it though. Very interesting what happened in the Super Bowl. I thought that the Niners were going to win because David Saborin sent me a message with the Niners logo. I was like, okay, because I'm not watching. It's like, okay, is he telling me the Niners are going to win? Well, they were going to win. And then overtime and craziness. Maybe a little script writing. Yeah, maybe a little script writing by the NFL there. And, it feels like the Chiefs might be the Lakers of the NFL right now. Yeah, that's a little fishy. They come back, and I know people are blaming the Niners kickers. That's who they're saying messed up. Is it the 49ers? If they just had better kickers, they would have won. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe the NFL wanted the Swifties to be happy. Maybe they wanted that storybook. Maybe they wanted him on one knee with the ring in the middle of the field at the end of the game, which didn't happen, by the way. That would have been embarrassing. I mean, it would have been cool, but it would have been embarrassing also. It'd be weird. Yeah, I seen Taylor Swift, more images of her from last night than from the game. I don't think I even saw any action shots of the game, just pictures of her with Ice Spice in the box with her little girl clique watching the game together. Yeah, it was good stuff. Good stuff. Well, Chiefs won. Mahomes, he's the dude, eh? He is the man. He's got 3 Super Bowl championships now. Wow. I know my friend Carlos from Monterrey, Mexico, is very happy right now. He is a Chiefs fan. He's a big Chiefs fan, and he suffered for years and years. While the Chiefs were horrible, very, very bad. I remember when I was in grad school with him, he would complain about the Chiefs being so bad. Well, what a turnaround for my good friend, Mr. Venegas Diaz, that his team is kicking some butt now. Yeah, Carlos is smiling today because his Kansas City Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions once again. Yeah. All right, let me get this top chat fixed to live chat, and let's see who's in the chat with me this morning. That's right. Let's see. We got Cowboy first. Yo. Good morning, Lex, Dap, and Raptor Freaks. Let's get the W. I think Booty Beef Barnes. Booty Beef Barnes? What is this word? Bully beef. That's Bully Beef Barnes? That's a weird nickname. We'll take it to Victor tonight, and Abaji will have a great game. Poster dunk. I'm coming. Incoming. Oh, I thought you were going to the game. Incoming. That's what he's saying. Okay. All right, let's see. You think that Barnes gonna bully Victor tonight? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe it won't be him. Maybe it'll be Jakob. Jakob's been bullying people lately. Have you noticed that? He bullied Alperen the other day, and Alperen couldn't play the rest of the game on Friday night. He also bullied Chet last Sunday, y'all, just so you know. Chet Holmgren, the slender man, other slender man of the Western Conference, getting pushed around by Pirtle last Sunday when we went to double overtime with the Thunder. Yeah, in that game, Holmgren was ineffective. He wasn't as good as he is against a lot of other teams, partly because Jakob Poeltl was a good match for him. He was very good at guarding him. And then at the other end of the floor, Jakob just put his ass in him, and then boom, the guy fell away, and he could just do whatever he wanted in the paint. This could be a similar thing tonight. You know, we could project things that Chet Holmgren did to what Victor's going to do too. It's the same body type, right? Maybe a little stronger with Victor, maybe a little taller with Victor. But still, it's kind of the same body type. And I think, Scotty may put his body to him. Maybe Scotty's like, I want to add you to the list of players that I've taken down and scored on over and beaten, like Kawhi and all these other guys I've played this year that I've taken to school. Well, I want to put you on that list, Victor. I'm going to put you on that list. I'm going to have a highlight at the end of the year of me taking you to school and scoring on your long, lanky ass. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that, Cowboy. I can see Scotty having the gumption to say, incoming, I'm going to score on you, Victor. You're going to be on my list of victims. Yeah, Victor, victim. Victor, victim. Scotty, bully, 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 man. Yeah, I like that song. Scotty, bully, 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 man. This is what happens when I wake up in the twilight zone of half asleep still. I sing dumb songs. Abaji, you think Abaji's coming in with a poster dunk tonight? Let's see it. Let's see it. Bring it. I want to see it. Nostradamus. Come on now, Cowboy. I hope you're right. Trevor Jace here. Good morning, Raptors family. Happy game day. Let's go get this win tonight. Yes. This is a gettable win. This is a team that struggled. This is a team that's young. In some ways, this team does not know how to win as much as we do, even though we're new. That's the battle. It's youth for half a year and a brand new team that has some experience, that does know a bit of things or two. Let's see what wins. Is this young team for half a year with Popovich, youngsters, no experience, kind of really don't know what the fuck they're doing? Or will a team that just got thrown together, that hasn't played together for very long at all, but has vets on it, has some experience? We've got guys like Olynyk and Jakob and even I dare say Scotty on our team that know how to do what they're doing late at games. I don't know. That may be the battle right there. Youth versus newness. Who wins? We'll find out tonight. In some ways, if they're on the other side, Popovich may be saying, guys, this is a game that y'all can win tonight. Y'all need to really try and win this game tonight. You guys, you've gotten really close in a lot of games recently. This one, if you do things right, you can win this one against the Raptors. That's what he's probably telling them. And the other way, Darko's like, you guys cannot lose to them. They only have 10 wins. We have more wins than them. We have double the wins of them almost. So we need to make sure we beat them. We have 19 wins. They have 10. We need to beat them. We need to get 20 wins tonight. That's what I'm saying, right? We've got it 19, right? Isn't that how many we got? Yeah, we got 19 wins. Let's get our 20th win tonight, Raptors. If we can get to 30 wins, I don't want to have an expansion win total at the end of the year. In some ways, when I see a 20-win season, I'm like, that is an expansion year for the Raptors kind of thing. Expanding and rebuilding is what it is. In some ways, I want to get as close to 30 as y'all can before the end of the year, Raptors. If you get to 30 wins this year, that would be great. That's 11 more wins by the end of the season finishing up. I think you can do that. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see. Once again, I don't care about that pick. I don't care about that protected pick at this point. I've decided that we need to just go ahead and give it up to Spurs, and let's just try and get in the play-in. That's where my head is at. A lot of Raptors Nation may be in other places with what they think the goals are for the rest of the year. But my head is win. Win, win, win. Get the play-in. Give that experience for Scotty and Grady. And Don't worry about this damn pick that everybody's obsessing about with the Jakob Pertl trade. We need to just own up to it and give them the pick. But let's get good enough so the pick's in the teens. How about that? Let's not even have it in the top 10. Let's get cleared to another place so that it lands somewhere like 12 or 13, maybe similar to where it was last year, the 13th pick with Grady Dick. Maybe that's what happens. And San Antonio gets that pick this year, rightfully, because of the deal with Jakob. We're going to have to give them a pick at some point. We might as well give it to them this year. The year the draft is weak, is what I'm saying right now. Yeah, Masai's already let it known that he thinks this is a weak draft this year. He feels that way, seriously. Trevor's, yeah, I love seeing you here, Trevor. Commissioner of Fun, my guy, Trevor J. Let's go get this win tonight. Dana said, good morning, everyone. Happy game day. Let's get the win. Let's go Raptors. That's right, Canadian Dana, a real loyal, real one for all her Canadian teams. Yes, Dana is awesome. I love you, Dana. I hope you're having a great start to your week this morning. Trevor J saying 49ers choked. Last night, Patrick Mahomes win his third Super Bowl. Yeah, that's impressive. Trevor, I saw your factoid on the chat in our Raptors Freak Facebook group that Mahomes is the first ever African American basketball player or football player to win 3 Super Bowls and be the MVP 3 times. So it's an achievement. That is an achievement. That's awesome. James is here again. Good to see James. Barnes had a good game against Wemby last time they met. Yeah, I remember that too. Wemby is interesting. This is an early state. It's almost like Wemby is like an insect. Maybe he's a stick bug. And in some ways, he just came out of one state of his metamorphosis. And he's still letting his skin harden. He's like a little translucent, a little soft right now. And that's what happens with insects when they come out of their little cocoons or whatever. They become like their last form. Well, they come out soft and they have to harden up, and they get color with their skin from that. I watch Ants Canada. Anyway, so Victor's kind of that like not hardened up like new insect. In some ways, he's got to be like go through a year or two and get tougher, maybe get a little stronger, and maybe a little bigger in certain ways with muscles on his body. And then he'll be a lot more dangerous and tough to deal with. But right now he's in a little bit of a state where it's like you're new, you're orientating yourself to NBA, and we can fuck you up right now. And I like that. And yeah, I vaguely remember him having a big game. This is a while ago. The Spurs game happened in like October. So we haven't seen them in a few months. That'll be interesting too, to kind of gauge that. Now, if I remember that Spurs game, we were down big and we came back and made a miraculous comeback and won. It was right around then we had 2 games like that. There was a Washington Wizards game that was similar where we were down by way too much and we made miraculous comebacks, 2 of them in a row. Of course, that was also with our old crew. That's the thing. They're looking from the other side. It was like, well, this is not the Raptors team that we faced in the fall. No, it's not. Not in any kind of way. There's Anunoby's gone. Siakam's gone. Precious is gone. All these guys are gone. Thaddeus, Dennis. Yeah. So in some ways, that's part of the interesting thing of this matchup is that we played them so early in the season in San Antonio that it is an opposite team, a very different team than the one we have right now that they played before. So this will be interesting. We'll have to see. Trevor said, don't have to work today. So I'm here. That's good. In some ways, the Monday after the Super Bowl, a lot of people kind of, say that it should be a holiday. A lot of people probably take it off. Not going to lie. A lot of people probably take it off too, but I'm glad you get it off, Trevor, especially since you had such a busy Saturday with your show and getting everything going. It's like you you have to hit the ground running when it's time to work, and you work hard when you're doing what you're doing. Well, it's good that you get this kind of time off too, off time. In some ways, I love having Mondays off certain ways, because when Mondays are when everybody else is going back to work. And if I had a job like working when I had Mondays off, I would really enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it. I realized that like the Real Jerk and Rasta Pasta, some of the Jamaican restaurants in here always closed on Monday. It's like just a day to take a break. You can go work on Sunday because everybody's coming around. You want to feed them, but Monday not as busy. Hey, you get that day off. So sometimes Mondays off for people are for people that work the hardest, honestly, because they work all weekend and then they finally get their weekend on Monday. Yeah, yeah. It's just how it is sometimes for people. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy Monday. Once again, facing legendary coach Popovich and his team tonight. Let's go. That's right. Coach Pop, not as popular and untouchable in his reputation as he used to be. Some fans hate him at this point in Spurs Nation and wish he'd just go away. These are the dumbass, toxic fans of the Spurs Nation that are out there. They have really dumb people that don't have any loyalty. They're really dumb people, newer fans in Spurs Nation that do not respect the career of Greg Popovich. It's ridiculous to me. In fact, it makes me really mad, honestly, because that man did so much good excellence for that team for decades. And so, sure, he's had a rough patch of losing in the last couple of years and a change. His dynasty team retired the hell out, and they're just trying to figure out the next part of the Spurs chapter. And I can't believe how disloyal some of the Spurs fans are about wanting to oust Greg Popovich from his job at this point. Y'all are idiots. You are stupid. You're so stupid. Toxic Spurs fans that are anti Greg Popovich right now. You are dumbasses. Let that man coach that team as long as he wants to and allow him to leave gracefully. He deserves it. This man brought y'all 5 championships as a coach. And the disrespect towards Popovich really infuriates me. And I know I'm Spurs Nation too, but in some ways I don't care about their stuff as much as I care about Raptor stuff. But this bugs me. The way some of the fan nation of San Antonio have turned on Greg Popovich. It's really ridiculous, honestly. It's ridiculous. Bryce is here. Good to see Kentucky chapter president of the Raptor Freaks, Bryce Lawson, in the house. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. I hope y'all watched the Super Bowl. I did not. Pat, it officially Pat is my officially my NFL GOAT, the best player I've ever seen. I hope Scotty's seen it and puts that dominant clutch factor in his game like Pat. All right. Well, on that note, you've cued me for the Instagram stories. Very interesting stuff last night going on with the Raptors and the Super Bowl. Marquise Noel, we start with him. He's got a letter to God saying thank you, that he's waking up with gratitude, and he knows that God's got him, and he's going to get him through whatever he's going through, and he appreciates God and his blessing of life and opportunity. So, Marquise, you keep doing what you're doing, man. He's very happy about Patrick Mahomes. He's calling him a bad man on his Instagram stories, and he was rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs. Being a Kansas State alumni, just like Grady with Kansas State, Kansas, they're going to go for the Chiefs, apparently. So both of them very much for the Chiefs. We see a picture of Mahomes in the back with the trophy. It looks like it's a photo of Kobe that has been superimposed. It's like Kobe's iconic pose, and they just put Patrick in it, is what it looks like. And then we see that it's also Marquise's significant other's birthday. So happy birthday, happy 24th birthday to Marquise's girlfriend. She's been his girlfriend since 2017, apparently. That one picture of her on your lap sitting next to you, well, he had to put a little black heart to cover up a certain area of her body because the skirt was a little hiked up. Yeah, big 24 for Marquise's lady. I'm very happy celebrating her. She's like, I met you on October 15th, 2017. That's my dad's birthday. I loved you ever since. My other half for real. That's awesome. So Marquise has a really steady relationship for 7 years now. And that's awesome to see the love between them. All right, here we go. Grady celebrating his game against the last game that we had where he got 14 points. And then he's got a clip of him and Marquise Noel from when they showed up as rookies with the football in the OVO Center, throwing the football around on Super Bowl. And that they're like saying, that's a dart. And they're throwing these crazy passes. And Grady gets one handed catch and he's spinning the ball. And then he's yelling in some sort of room where they're watching the Super Bowl. It looked like the Raptors had their own little team viewing party. And there are 3 guys in this picture that I can see for sure. And those 3 guys are Grady celebrating the Chiefs' overtime victory at the last second. Really, really happy about that, yelling. And Marquise standing with him, kind of yelling with them. And then we see in the back in this Instagram story on Grady's account, Scotty Barnes sitting on the couch, but not moved by the Chiefs' victory. In some ways, we know that Scotty's a Ravens fan, and I don't think he likes the Chiefs very much. But yeah, he wasn't impressed by the win, the Super Bowl win last night. He's just sitting there. They kind of got him on the screen for a second. And I don't know if Scotty was totally glad about that, but it's kind of cool to see Grady and Marquise and Scotty were together watching the Super Bowl last night. The three of them, at least those three guys, were all sitting in the same room watching the game together. And of course, the two Kansas guys were overjoyed, and Scotty, little nonplussed, just kind of like, yeah, okay. It was a fun game to watch with my guys, and I'm glad they're happy, but I don't care. In some ways, it's like this isn't my team. This isn't Lamar. I don't give a shit. It's not Lamar Jackson. That's who I wanted to root in the Super Bowl. That's where Scotty was thinking. I'll bet you money that's what he was thinking when in that moment when they flashed him on Grady's Instagram stories. Pretty interesting stuff. Come on now. Yeah, we see Marquise is celebrating. Grady's so happy. He's got his Chiefs jersey on. And then we see Scotty kind of just chilling in the back. He's waving to the camera. Slim Duck has got this little girl, so cute. And it says, how tall are you? Like 7 foot? You ain't a waste all that good height, right? You play basketball. And Chris is like, yeah, I play basketball. I play basketball. Miles Burns putting on blast the Windy City stuff from yesterday. Oh, yeah, I got to review the Windy City game yesterday, the G League game. They did lose, by the way. But, yeah, he has some clips from that game. And this is interesting, y'all. Dennis Schroeder has some really cool highlights. First of all, that inbounds pass for an alley-oop to win the game for the Nets was absolutely storybook. What a way to introduce yourself. In fact, they were playing the Spurs in this game. They kicked the Spurs' butt. But this is the interesting thing. They had Junior Schroeder's birthday party yesterday. Schroeder, 5 years old, Dennis Schroeder Jr. And honestly, they had this party in Toronto. Dennis coming back to Toronto this weekend and them celebrating this party. And the crazy thing is they had a cake ordered ahead of the trade, and the cake had Raptors logo on it. And you could tell Dennis and Ellen weren't totally happy about that. Junior Schroeder wearing a brand new Brooklyn Nets 17 run around at this birthday party. And they're saying, yeah, we ordered the cake before the trade, and that's why the cake is Raptors, but it really should be Nets. And he's putting all the Nets. In fact, I think Dennis is hurt by us trading him like that. I honestly do, because, he put a basketball icon over our logo on the cake in one of the pictures. Now, here's a very interesting thing. Dennis Schroeder Jr.'s birthday was attended by a lot of Raptors people. That's right. There was the family of Garrett Temple, and Dennis was very touched that Garrett Temple showed up, his dog, as he put it. Garrett Temple and his wife and their young children bonded with Dennis and his wife and their young children. In fact, Ellen Schroeder was very outspoken on her channel this season that this is the most comfortable she's felt with people around the team, the coaches' wives and children, and the players' wives and children. And she was actually bonding with Raptors people while they were still on our team. And it's sad. It's sad in some ways. You got traded all of a sudden, because she was like, this is the most I've ever gone along with other NBA wives and families, is here in Toronto with these families, the Temple family in particular, and the Wade family was there also. James Wade and his wife and their children at Dennis Schroeder Jr.'s birthday party. And guess who else? One more family, very much close to the Schroeder family, the Rajakovic family. Darko at Dennis Jr.'s birthday party with his wife Gaga and their children all playing together. And that says a lot right there. Dennis not overtly saying that Darko was at the birthday party, but he said, thank you to everybody. There's a group shot, and you can see Darko in the picture. You can see his wife. You can see all of them all in this big picture from the birthday party of Junior Schroeder. So there you go. Even though he's a net, even though he's just traded for 3 days ago, our Raptors people showed up in full effect for the birthday party to support young Schroeder on his 5th birthday. And it meant a lot to Dennis. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm sure that it meant a lot to him. The Garrett Temple family, James Wade family, and Darko Rajakovic family showed up for his son's 5th birthday. Even though he's been traded, he's not a teammate anymore, they still came and showed up. That's something right there. That's when you know there's something bigger than basketball, and that's friendship. And that's time together. And that's why the bond between Dennis and Darko will be strong forever for the rest of their lives, even though he's not playing for us anymore. So, yeah, very interesting stuff on the Instagram stories. Let me see. Is there anything else I want to talk about on Instagram? I don't think so. I think that's it. There's your check in with the Raptors and their private lives. Dennis Schroeder Jr.'s birthday party and Raptors Super Bowl viewing party last night with some of the guys. Yeah, some of the guys. There you go. Let's see. Fiercely saying, sharing this with the fam. I know I had petty reasons not to root for the 49ers because your ex. Yeah. But I was told yesterday that they were the team in which Kaepernick played and they blackballed him after he was kneeling. The Niners. Yeah. Yeah. But they weren't the only people that did it. The whole entire league did it. You can blame the Niners. And yeah, sure. That was the team he was on and they kind of let him go. But there was a lot of pressure from the rest of the NFL and other people. And yeah, but that is the team that happened. I mean, you could say that they're the ones, but honestly, it's all it's the whole fucking league. Any of those teams could have picked him up, brought him in. In fact, there's a couple teams that did try him out and give him a couple chances afterwards. The Raiders being one of them. They gave him a practice tryout more recent years, actually. I think in the last 3 years, the Raiders actually said, Kaepernick, come in. Let's see what you're at and see if you can be on our team this year. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm with you on this. In some ways, I don't like dynasties. I don't like dynasties. Mahomes is a great achievement. But once again, I will say this because Taylor Swift's involved, because in some ways the NFL knows what makes money. I always am going to be thinking sports are dubious, the outcomes of things. In fact, the way that it went down with a very close game and overtime win, that was probably some fishy shit for the sports betting ledger. Who knows what kind of things were manipulated or in any kind of way. I do not believe the NFL is on the up and up. Just like the NBA, it's manipulated, and outcomes and things that are desired will try to get there. I think that it was very evident with things with Tom Brady in recent years that the NFL is trying to write storylines also. Just like the NBA. The NBA props up and takes care of the Lakers. Well, I have a feeling that the NFL props up and takes care of certain people too. Now, I don't watch it close enough to say that it's the Kansas City Chiefs, but I just know this is the way sports is heading right now. I've heard a lot of people saying some of the same stuff about the NBA, about the NFL, that it's scripted, that they already decide which teams and all this kind of stuff. So I'm glad I don't waste my time watching it. And I did not watch the Super Bowl. I did not watch a single snap of NFL action this whole entire season. And now it's over. Successful, another season of avoiding and boycotting the NFL in the name of Colin Kaepernick. That's this person right here. That's right. Some people are like, what, Lex? What are you doing that for? Well, I believe in what Kaepernick's kneeled for. And you know what? The way that they treated him, the way it went down was fucked up and wrong. The person who's the most patriotic and the most American in this whole situation is Colin Kaepernick, you idiots. When he takes that kneeling, he is making a message about Americans and protecting Americans, just like the ones that you say he's disgracing and dishonoring that protected people. No, you know what? He's just like those people that sacrificed for their country and lost their lives for our freedom. That you think that he's so insulted? No. Don't get it twisted. Those people fought for the freedoms for him to express himself in the way that he did, because that is what freedom is. And everybody who says that Colin Kaepernick taking a knee like that was anti-American and wrong, no, you're exactly wrong. It's the opposite. It is as American as you can be. It is the reason why Boston people threw tea in the Boston Harbor. It's the reason why we started this whole country in the first place, is to dissent against tyranny. And the NFL is tyranny, and he is the American in this whole situation. The NFL is King George. Jabronis out there. The NFL is King George, and Colin Kaepernick is the patriot, the American patriot that stood for change and for his common citizen and what was happening to Black Americans being under siege from law enforcement, killing people unnecessarily. That was his statement all along. And it was the most American thing in the NFL in the last 10 years, if you ask me, motherfuckers. Yeah. Yeah, you want to talk, you get all comparing I'm more American patriot than you are. I'm more American. You know what? The action of what he did is the most American thing the NFL has had around it in years. Years and years. Whole time. That's right. That's what I'm saying about that. That's right. Yeah, there you go. So another reason not to cheer for them if it's true. Well, they're the ones who cut him, but the whole rest of the league was in cahoots to keep him out after that. So it's not just the 49ers. They're the team that had him, and I guess you could say they're number one in that. But all these other teams had to pass on him too and say, no, you can't come in. Maybe it's the league itself. The league office said he cannot come in. He's a headache. He's a problem. He's really upsetting people who are value signaling that they are patriots when they're actually not patriots because they don't support him. That's the damn truth right there. History will tell this story this way. At least the people that understand this and the whole idea of what Colin Kaepernick was doing when he got in so much trouble 10 years ago. This is a while ago, honestly, at this point. Let's see. Fiercely saying, like I said, I don't follow football, so I had no idea which team he was on. Yeah, Adriana's texting me during the game. She's like, I don't understand football. What? I don't get this game. Yeah, I haven't watched it in a bit. So I don't know. They may have changed some rules, and I'll be like, "Oh, this is weird." I don't know, but I know football pretty good. I was a fantasy football master. I really know how to play fantasy football, but I'm out of it. I got out of it when Colin got out of it, and I was just like, "Fuck this." I ended a fantasy football league that I ran for 15 years and had very loyal teams playing in it. And I said, "Guys, I'm making a stand on this, and I'm saying I don't care. I'm not going to watch the NFL anymore because of Colin Kaepernick." And because they blackballed him. It's not because of what he did. It's not. I'm not blaming Colin. I'm just saying the way they responded to him makes me not want to support or watch the NFL ever again. And I have stuck to that. I have not watched a single damn thing. I don't have a team that I have an allegiance to like the Raptors in the NFL. There's no team in there that I love so much that I have to say, oh, I can't stop watching the NFL because I have to watch the Buccaneers. No, there's no team like that in the NFL. There's no team whatsoever that has that kind of loyalty from me. So I was very much a fantasy player more than a team fan with the NFL. I very much watched the NFL basically because of fantasy football for like 15 years. It wasn't because I was a fan of a team or anything. I just wanted to win fantasy football championships. Well, it's easier to walk away then. Easier to walk away. Trevor J saying Patrick Mahomes is the first black quarterback to win 3 Super Bowls. Yeah, you're saying that. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Fiercely saying, fam, our record is 19-34, and we still have 29 games to play. Hoping we do the play-in for the youngins to experience the journey, make them hungry for the actual playoffs next year. Yeah, I want to do the play-in this year again, and this time let's make it successful. Last year was a humiliation and stupid shit, and it's Nick's fault. Well, Nick's gone, and we got something better to build off of. Let's get back in there, and let's get Scott a successful play-in victory this time. That's what I'm all about. Let's get 2 of them, and let's get the first round. If not, get the higher seeded play-in bracket, so we only have to win once to get into the playoffs in the first round. Yeah, I'm all about that for sure, Fiercely. I'm with you. I think that this has been a weird year where we've had to shift gears on our expectations and what the Raptors are shooting for, and it's like a week by week basis. You're gonna have to change what you think that they should be doing. Some fans who just want them to bottom out and tank out. Well, Bobby said it last week at his press conference. We can't do that. The league will penalize us, and there's no guarantees if we tank that we're going to get our pick still. That we could go really bad and not do well in the lottery, and if that ball falls outside of the top 6, it's San Antonio's pick, and we still only won like 20 games for the whole season, y'all. We don't want to do that. We really, really don't want to do that. It's good to practice winning habits by trying to win no matter what. And if you win, you win. And it doesn't matter about that protected pick. Just trust me on this. Just trust me on this. Yeah. Bryce is saying, I believe that is a strong possibility, Fiercey. We have the talent to do so. They just have to want it. That's right. We're lurking kind of below the play-in stuff right now, but we could be up there. You know, I was thinking about this the other day. The play-in's becoming more prestigious. Yeah. Some people want to make fun of it. Some people want to say, yeah, these are all the shitty teams that are in the playoffs. They're not good enough to be in the playoffs. Well, go look at the Western Conference and start saying that. And then realize the NBA is not going to like you saying that because the Lakers and the Warriors are in the play-in over on the other side. In some ways, because those teams that get so much attention, so much doting on, in some ways, it's a weird byproduct. The NBA probably didn't even realize what they were doing, that they're making prestige out of the play-in tournament. Seriously. You're going to overdote on the Lakers and the Warriors, and they're going to be shitty, and they're going to play in the play-in tournament. Well, you're going to make that play-in tournament more prestigious because you're going to put more bells and whistles and attention on it because of LeBron and the Lakers and the Warriors. In some ways, this is good. This is good. I want the Raptors to be in a play-in game this year and to win in that play-in game and to get that victory. Even if that's the whole win for the whole season, they don't do nothing in the first round after that. That'll be a good start of postseason kind of stuff. That's what I'm saying right there. Yeah. Let's see. Fiercey saying, I'm surprised Keldon Johnson's coming off the bench. He's good. You know what? I am very surprised about this also, Fiercey. I have Keldon on my fantasy team. And when I drafted him this past summer, it was the intention that he would be one of the main guys and starting for them. And he is still a very important scorer for them. He's kind of like the sixth man. In some ways, what Popovich did with Keldon Johnson this year is something I've suggested to the Raptors coaches a couple times in the last few years. Don't play all your best players in the starting lineup. And this is the philosophy I've talked about. Have your two best players in the starting lineup and your third best player come off the bench. Well, that's what this is. Keldon Johnson's the third best player on the Spurs, and he's coming off the bench to help balance out how good the bench unit is so that they're better. It's really what it is. That's all it is. It's not really a slight on him. It's not really that he's in the doghouse. He gets good minutes, and his fantasy points have been fine, even though he's not been starting this year. I've been getting good production out of him. So it's a very interesting situation that happened over this year, but I really think it is to help their starting lineup have capable scorer in it. And that makes sense to me. That makes a lot of sense to me. I've been paying attention to this very carefully. He is on my fantasy team. Let's see. James is saying, Lex, what should Scotty do to get to the next level? Ooh, cool. Kind of open-ended question. I don't know. Well, the first thing that's for sure that's coming up is go play in that All-Star game. I'll tell you this right now, James. If you're talking about the next level, what do you mean the next level? As far as a player, maybe in stature? I don't know. If he goes to the All-Star game, hopefully he'll get to play. First of all, sometimes the add-ons or the people they don't get as many minutes. I'd like to see Scotty get a good chunk of minutes at the All-Star game and make a good impression at it. That is the next thing he could do to get the next level. As far as being a superstar in the league, we'll have a coming out party on Sunday next week or whatever weekend coming up. Go to the All-Star game and make a name for yourself, Scott, by doing some amazing stuff. Do something so impressive in that game, like a dunk or some sort of really crazy play that goes viral. And that will get you the next level right there. James, I don't know if that's exactly the question you're asking. I think that coming up with currently what's coming up, that's what he should do to get the next level. Have a good showing at All-Star Weekend. If he gets a chance to play, hopefully he gets some minutes. I could see them shafting him and just letting him come out there for like 2 minutes and not get to play hardly at all. That'll piss me off. But if he does get out there and he gets good run, get that good, really big highlight. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a dunk. If it's a really crazy block or if it's any kind of really amazing athletic feat that has all the attention on it, that's what I want. That'll get him to the next level in his perception of us being a superstar in this league. That's what I'm talking about right there. Yeah. Nako saying, does my heart good to see Marquise, Grady, and Scotty hanging out watching the Super Bowl? Yeah, I like that too. I had a feeling that there would be a Raptors Super Bowl party watching, and Grady would be involved for sure. It's interesting. I guess, in some ways, some of the guys could travel on off days and maybe go to the Super Bowl. I know that Kyle in the past went when the Eagles were playing. But when you're an NBA player and you just did like a 6-game road trip and you're kind of always on the road, even if you have time off in between games, do you really want to get on a plane and fly on your off day? No, you're going to stick around Toronto, hang around here and watch it together here in Toronto. And instead of going to the game or something like that. In some ways I was like, was Grady going to go to the Super Bowl? Because man, he's that kind of Chiefs fan. He could be wanting to go all the way to the Super Bowl, fly to it. It's another time zone, right? This is in Vegas, right? Or something like that. Yeah. In some ways, you don't want to travel on your off day and do all that shit. That's tiring. No, they need to rest and recuperate for San Antonio today. So, of course, they're going to hang out in Toronto, have a viewing party, watch it together. It was cool to see them together, too. And I like the idea that Scotty's just sitting in a room watching a 3-hour football game with Grady and Marquise, and who knows what kind of conversations they're having. It'd be cool. Probably some pestering, a little bit of fun. Maybe Scotty was going for the Niners just to be contrarian. It's just like that with John French. It's like, oh, you like the Steelers? Well, I like the Ravens. It's like, oh, Grady, you like the Chiefs? Well, I'm rooting for the Niners. It could be. It could be Scotty's like that sometimes because we've seen it with his brother at least already. Let's see. Let's see. Trevor's saying Terry had knee injury yesterday during the game, Miami and Boston. You're talking about Terry Rozier got hurt for the Miami Heat against the Celtics yesterday. That's interesting news. Fiercely saying another salsa lover like me. Salsa lover. Yeah. 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 John Goebel, like salsa music. Yeah. I want to know the artist. The question is not music genre, John Goebel. It's the artist. What's your favorite artist? You didn't name any artists. Let's see. Naco the Nachos saying for Scotty to take it to the next level, I think he needs to be the best player in a playoff series. I don't know if he has to go that far. I mean, that would be an indicator, and that's something we want him to get that feather in his cap for sure. I don't know if that'll happen this year. That may be a stretch for this year. I think in some ways we need Scotty to just learn how to win more games more often. He'll get more attention. As long as the Raptors are not winning games, it'll be harder for him to gain momentum with his standing in the league as a face of the future. So I think that the winning percentage of the Raptors is the best indicator of whether Scotty, in his stat line himself will look good in it, depending on what it is. You can get a triple-double, but they lose. You can score very little, but they win. In some ways, we could be looking at whether the Raptors are a winning team. That'll get him more attention and more respect. As long as we're not winning, he's not going to get the respect he deserves. And that's the big, big part of the factor right there. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Free Crew. Game day. We can get a W now that we have two big centers. Good morning from Jill also. Yeah, I mean, we can fight a bigger team better with Kelly on the scene now all of a sudden. I agree. And it'll be interesting to see the new look Raptors against the Spurs tonight. We get to watch it, y'all. We're so blessed and lucky. Let's show some gratitude that we got the Spurs versus the Raptors tonight here in Toronto, and we get to watch it, y'all. Victor. Yeah, it's not just a mythical creature in our chats last year. He actually has shown up and he plays in the league. That's right. A mythical creature from France. That's right, like a unicorn. Oh, that's what they call him, right? A unicorn? He's a mythical creature. Yeah. Monique is here. Superfan Monique the Lawrence, the greatest. I'm wondering if she's going the game again. Monique has had very, very busy going to and from the game. In some ways, she needs her own high-speed rail to get her down to the Scotiabank Arena. Just build it. Just build it, Toronto. Build a new subway line just for Monique to get to the game. She goes so often. That'd be awesome. I want that for you, Mo. No more wheel trans. You've got your own private jet subway. Shoot you right down there. You can get there in 2 minutes from where you live. That'd be amazing. I love that. Maybe we'll have teleportation one day. Wouldn't that be crazy? Like where they figured it out, like from Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory, Mike TV part, where they say, TV, you go in little spinning, go through the air, and you come on the TV. I'm on the TV, Dad. Look at me. Oh, Mike, you look so small. I'm worried. It's great. I'm on TV, Dad. I'm on TV. Maybe someday we will teleport like Mike TV on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, hopefully they get all our bits in the right place when we materialize on the other end. Yeah, the future is crazy. I wouldn't put it past us figuring out materialization and teleportation. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past us. We've seen it on Star Trek. Na, 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 na. That's right. Cowboys saying Chiefs came back swiftly in overtime. Came back swiftly. All right, yeah, I'll give you a dunk. That's cheap, man. That's a cheap dunk. That may be the cheapest dunk ever. In some ways, Bradley, that's like the equivalent of like just walking up, stopping, and taking the ball with one hand and putting it in like that. That's the dunk you just did, man. That's the dunk you just did with that. Oh my gosh. Jill saying, laugh out loud. They were swift. Ha. See, she likes your dad joke. He literally is a dad making dad jokes. Canadian cowboy. Fiercely saying, laugh out loud, a cowboy. I see what you did there. Alley hoop. Yeah, I'm only giving him the initial little dunk. That's it. We're not giving him alley oop more than that. That's right. Good morning, ladies. Let's go Raptors. There you go, cowboy. Jillian saying, did you enjoy the game then? Sorry the 49ers didn't get it for you. I wanted them to win. Come on, 49ers. What's up? They didn't win, though. Infamous is saying, salute, freaks. Love the trajectory. I'm guessing you're saying trajectory. You love the trajectory of the team. The only positions that need to be determined is the shooting guard position and maybe another power forward. What do you think, Lex? All right, we'll talk about the shooting guard position, Gary Trent Jr. Well, if he starts hitting his shot regularly, he's consistent, I think he's got it. It's his spot to lose. I think Gary's playing solid enough on both ends of the court that he's fine. I don't think that he's in trouble to lose the starting job. The only people that be threatening him for that job is Grady and I don't know, maybe Bruce Brown. But for the most part, I think Gary's good. I think that some of the controversy of the roster makeup in the past, not just in this year with Dennis, but in years past where Gary has had competition around him for things and being a starter, it's all cleared up. It's all wide open now. And I think it's his spot to lose. He'd have to play really, really shitty for him to get benched at this point. So in some ways, Gary is breathing big sighs of relief. In some ways, there isn't somebody around that's kind of like in the same place with him, and he has to compete with them. So he's in probably the best position he's been in ever on the Raptors right now, Gary Trent Jr. So I think he's in good shape. Now, I love the idea of getting another power forward because I want more beef, big guys down low. Now, didn't we just do this, though, kind of on the down low when we signed 10 days to two of our 905 players? They're both different looks. They really are. I mean, you're going to get a little bit more of Chris Boucher kind of style with Muhammadu. And then Justice Winslow, in some ways, he is another power forward that you're talking about. Another meaty, big guy who can actually throw people around with strength. So it's interesting. Let's see these guys get into the games for the main Raptors. They should play tonight. I'm going to tell you that right now because this is a good team for them to get acclimated against as far as playing them. And I'll be surprised if we do not see the two 10-day contracts get in there tonight, at least for a little bit. Hopefully those guys can get in like more than just garbage time and actually get some small rotation minutes just to see what they can do. Country Con saying congratulations to Grady, Marquise, and their Kansas City Chiefs. Grady has so much personality. He came to the game with a Chiefs jersey on. Hopefully Scotty's Ravens and Lamar Jackson can win one too. I know Scotty was upset with the way they went out. In some ways, there was a little bit of a controversy about the Baltimore Ravens playoff game where they lost. And I know that Scotty was extremely disappointed that the Ravens didn't get further in the postseason. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he was very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. Yeah, I read the word right, Jill. I got it right. Yeah, hey, listen, sometimes spelling can be creative, and I'll be creative in reading it. That's right. Let's see. Jill saying, I tried Scotty's Bowlway. It was good. All right. The review from Jillian about Bowlway is thumbs up. It's good. Yeah, it is good. I mean, Subway's okay. Subway's a weird, like I said, it's a franchise by franchise case. You get a good Subway ran by a very capable, good manager who keeps up with their stock, sells a lot, and keeps everything fresh. Well, you can go to a good Subway. But there are bad franchises too, where you can get some nasty ass Subway. And so it's a case-by-case basis on whether the Subway is good or not. And Bowlway, when it's made right by a good Subway franchise, is excellente for sure. Maybe I need to go get Bowlway today. Jill's talking about it so much. You're making me want to go get Bowlway at Girard Square Food Court Mall. All right, let's see. G saying Ellen and Dennis celebrated their son's birthday, and a lot of the stuff included chairs. Stuff including chairs had Raptors logos all over them. They had it planned before the trade. Also, Garrett showed up. Yeah, Garrett showed up and Darko. Darko's in those pictures too. If you look very closely, you can see Darko at Dennis Schroeder Jr.'s birthday party. And James Wade. He was there also. Jill's saying, game day food, laugh out loud. I didn't do all the work that Fiercey did, but it was still good. Well, you did Bowlway, right? Is that the game day food you had, the spread? You can get a Subway catered event. Subway would get that crazy ass platter with all the different little Subway sandwiches. Ooh, that's actually a good caterer for a get together or like a Super Bowl party. If you really wanted to do something, you go to Subway and get a little platter of Subway sandwiches and have them at your party. If you don't feel like doing the work yourself. Yeah, that's not a bad thing to get for a party. Is a Subway sandwich platter of little sub sandwiches. That's right. Jill's saying, where are the photos of Dennis Jr.'s birthday? They are on Dennis Schroeder's Instagram stories. There's a lot of pictures of him playing for the Nets in his first couple games. I think he's only played one. And then there's a bunch of pictures of the birthday party, and that's where you'll see them. Let's see. Seymour saying, what's up, peeps? I'm in and out like the burger joint. Have a productive day. Love from Alberta. He's making a West Coast joke. We don't have in and out over here, man. That's something that if you told that joke, some of us would go right over our heads. It's like, what do you mean in and out? What is that? We don't know in and out burger in the East. We don't have it over here. Y'all may have it in Alberta. Y'all may have it in California, but we ain't got it over here. So we don't know that joke. We don't know it. In some ways, it could go right over our heads, Seymour, because we're in the East. We don't have no Jack in the Box. We ain't got no In-N-Out burger. Country Kong saying, Lex, I rewatched the Raps versus Cavs game. I know you're a little upset with Oshai, but I'm telling you, his defense on Donovan Mitchell was special. I think he'll end up being one of our favorites. All right. I like that you're coming back and circling back and bringing me this tidbit of information. Well, I mean, his box score was really not the normal scoring for Donovan Mitchell. So the indications of what you're saying is very true. I mean, and I did see him guarding Donovan. Okay, I like this. I'll keep this in my mind as I watch him today and see if I'll pay attention to his defense tonight. I just didn't like the way he's missing his shots. That's all. To me, he made a bad first impression. But I like that you're standing up for him and you're saying that he played really good defense on Donovan Mitchell, and I should have noticed that. Okay. All right. I'm going to pay closer attention to Abaji tonight and the way he plays defense as a defensive shooting guard. I want to see that. Yeah. G saying it's on Ellen's Instagram also. Well, yeah, it's on both of theirs. It's probably going to be on hers and his. It's really sad. Like, I know, like, Ellen really did talk about how much she bonded with team families more in this stop in their NBA career than ever. They didn't have this in LA. They didn't have this in Boston. They're a young family. They were around other young families in our franchise. And they really, like Ellen said in one of the clips, is like, I've never been so close to like team players and coaches' families, like the wives and their children. Their children are playing with our children. I'm talking to the wives. We have a lot in common. I've never had this feeling in Dennis's career at any of the stops that he's been at so far. And boom, it's gone already, 6 months in. Well, at least they all showed up for a junior's birthday party, and they showed that love. And those were the families she was talking about, that she is bonded with, the Rajakoviches, the Wades, and the Temples. Yeah, and I'll bet the Thad's family was there too, but they're traded too, and they weren't there. Thad's family is probably one of them too. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. Jill saying, yesterday I couldn't see Snoopy on here. Apparently this has nothing to do with me and more to do with selected YouTube privacy settings. Yeah, Jill, in some ways, you not being able to see Snoopy is not newsworthy. I will tell you this right now. There's two things that could be happening. In your chat box, do you see a part that says type top live chat or live chat? If you toggle that little switch to live chat, that it'll stop filtering some people's stuff out of the way. That is exactly why this is happening. This is basic YouTube stuff. Is basically in the chat, it'll say top live chat at the top. If it says type live chat, it's omitting some of the stuff that it doesn't view as top live chat. So that may be part of the reason why you weren't seeing Snoopy, is because in your chat, you may have top live chat and not just live chat. You got to toggle that little change, and then boom, you'll see everything in the chat. I have to do it every morning so that I don't miss y'all's comments. So, and it could also be that you have a block on Snoopy. You didn't mean to. You could have misclicked on something on there and it just said hide Snoopy. And you did that by accident. It could be that also. So there's a couple of different things that could be happening there. But either way, this is still not a topic that's very, like, why are we talking about this right now? This is just you and Snoopy. And this is not a general Raptors topic. In some ways, this is a little too Jill-centric, is what I'm saying. I mean, I don't mind helping you with YouTube stuff. But once again, this is not really good content, is what I'm saying. Most saying, Lex, you're right. Replay, and reference the play-in, even though I didn't want to play in. Here we are. I mean, I wanted playoffs. I don't know if there's some sort of like crazy wild thing we could do before the end of the season and just get a regular playoff spot. That would be great too. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with the team. I want the team to get success and I want them to try and win. And some people are like, well, we're already losing. This season's already a wash. Why don't we just lose all the way and really think about the draft picks? No, we can't do that. Bobby said we can't. Bobby said we can't. Jill saying, thanks, G. We'll look up Dennis's party. Fiercely saying, so Dennis had created good relationships with some of his former Raptors teammates. It's kind of sad. Yeah, he had good relationships with most everybody. I think that the fans painted all kinds of stupid shit, and they were wrong. Just like with Fred. It's a similar thing. They made Fred seem like he's a villain, and they said all this crazy, stupid shit. They did the same thing to Dennis this year. Neither one of those guys are bad guys, and they're great teammates, and Scotty loves both of them. Everybody trying to make enemies for Scott in fucking toxic Raptors nation. Scotty doesn't have enemies on the team. He loves everybody. He's friends with everybody. And y'all keep doing that kind of shit. Scotty hates you for that. Everybody you thinks you're doing good things for Scott by saying other guys like Dennis and Fred are villains beside him. You guys are actually anti-Scott. Because Scott would tell y'all, stop fucking with my teammates. I love Fred. I love Dennis. And I don't need y'all to come and make up bullshit on Twitter and other places to kind of cause problems and waves for my team. Because honestly, y'all are making shit up. I've never had a problem with Dennis. I've never had a problem with Fred. And y'all made a bunch of bullshit up and made these men into villains. Nah, Dennis was very cool with everybody. They see somebody who talks fiercely and kind of like intensely and has a high standard of like excellence. And they think this guy's an asshole. Look at him telling everybody what to do. He just showed up. Who the hell is he? That's the kind of bullshit that turned people off from him, is saying that like, oh, he shouldn't be able to talk to people like that because he just showed up and he's a fool anyway. I hate him because he's a dumbass and all these kind. That is the things that tainted people's opinions of Dennis Schroeder, is their own biases and their own stupidity of not understanding NBA teams have leaders. And so what if Dennis was telling people what to do? That's what he does. He's a FIBA world champion, MVP, and he's the captain of the team Germany that had the excellent, most best performance at the FIBA World Cup. So, yeah, he is a leader. Yeah, he has that card that he can go and talk to people. Yeah, he has a certain level that he wants people to be held accountable to. In fact, he said the same damn thing when he showed up in Brooklyn. This is the thing. I'm not afraid to go talk to people and tell them that they aren't playing up to what I think they should be playing. And I think that having somebody on the team like that is good. But apparently some Raptor fans think that kind of person on the team is an asshole. They shouldn't be on the team. Everybody's trying to tell Scotty what to do. Yeah, they're supposed to. They're mentoring him. They're teaching him, you dumbasses. You think Scotty just immaculately shows up on Earth, God's gift, and he knows everything about the NBA and he just knows everything all of a sudden? No, you dumbass pro-Scotty people that are so stupid with how you look at his relationships on the team. No, he doesn't come immaculately downloaded with all the intel and information like a computer you can buy at the computer store with everything locked in already. No, he needs to sit there and listen to Thad. He needs to sit there and listen to Dennis. He needs to sit there and listen to Kelly Olynyk. And that's the one thing that this one area of Raptors fans just never fucking got about it. They're like, oh, these older vets trying to tell Scotty what to do. Oh, he's telling Scotty what to do. Maybe it's your mom telling you to clean your room that you're mad at, and not Thad Young for telling Scotty to stop doing something stupid at halftime. Yeah, maybe it's your mom or your dad. Dad won't let me go to the mall this weekend. I hate him. Man, he's just like Dennis telling Scotty what to do. I feel like that's what's half this shit is. This is young people that are rebellious. They don't like seeing old people telling young people what to do. And that's their whole goddamn problem with Fred VanVleet, Thad Young, and Dennis Schroeder this last 2 years. Because they're worried about them telling Scotty what to do. Fucking idiots. Get over yourself. Scotty wants them to tell him what to do. Oh my gosh. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. No. Jill's saying Dennis likely devastated. Let's not put these words and emotions on people. Dennis is fine. He's a professional. He picks up and goes to the next place. Why do we want to put these? You make the words worse, Jill, when you describe it this way. Dennis is likely devastated. We don't need to make it that bad. He's upset, I'm sure. Maybe he's just a little challenged. Maybe he's like, I wish I was still in Toronto, but I don't know if the word devastate is the right word. Being careful in reference to the Raptors logo, as he can't bite the hand currently feeding him. Well, yes, of course, Raptors all still love him. No, there's not, of course. Those guys didn't have to go to that birthday party yesterday. They didn't have to do that. They did that because they're actually really friends with him. And it's not the Raptors all still love him. These particular families showed up for his event. And that shows something. There may be guys that didn't like him on the team. We can't say all of them still love them. I'm gonna read every comment verbatim. And I'm gonna be like, that's not really accurate. That's not accurate. He has to be careful with the Raptors logo. That's for sure. He left it on for a couple pictures, but he covered it up for a couple other ones. Some Raptor fans that are so diehard will hate Dennis for it. He covered up our logo on his birthday cake. I hate him for that. They'll use that to be something mad at him for. They're just looking for reasons to be mad at Dennis. Seriously, they're just looking at it. Infamous is saying, man, it hurts my heart to hear that Dennis story, Lex. It hurts when we trade people that actually want to be here. I know. That's why Raptors fans need to shut the fuck up and be more respectful. Because seriously, this is a business and it sucks in that kind of way. But these are human beings. These are children. There's wives. There's people involved in this. And in some ways, that it's annoying. It's annoying. Trevor's saying 49ers players said they didn't know the new rules. That's why they lose the game. What the fuck? You just played your whole entire fucking season. You don't know the new rules or whatever rules, and you lose. And that's your excuse, 49ers, that you didn't know the rules of the NFL? That's a cop-out. How the fuck did you get the Super Bowl? You don't know the rules of the game. Your coach sucks. That's what I'll say to that. That sounds crazy to me, Trevor. Carlos saying, morning, Raptor Freak team. Blessed week to all. I'm with you, Carlo. Back at you. Let's go, Raptors. Let's get some good wins this week, leading up to the All-Star break. Yeah. Let's see. Carlos' first comment is where I'm at. Infamous is saying there's no other more patriotic. There's nothing more patriotic than Black Americans. They have fought in every American war, even against themselves. I support your stance, Lex. Yeah. Black people built the White House. That's just the damn truth. They made Black people build the White House. They literally built the house that the president lives in. There's all kinds of stuff. Great accomplishments and achievements by Black Americans. This is the month that we talk a lot about it, February. And that's right. That's an important thing to talk about. And I agree. Often Black Americans were in the front lines at a lot of the conflicts on purpose and for evil reasons. But they were there and they fought and they did good things for us in that kind of way. That's the thing. Some ways that's the way to get, citizenship or social standing is by going to the military. I've seen a recent documentary on, Japanese people who came to North America, Chinese people that came to help build the railroads during that era of expansion in North America. And still they were treated like second-class citizens. There was all kinds of rules for Chinese people that were different in Canada than for regular, just everybody people. And Chinese people had to do like all kinds of crazy shit, and they weren't looked at as real citizens. So you know what they did? They didn't enlist in the military. And then after that, they got, more respect, and they actually felt like they were getting treated more like real citizens. That's the same thing that's true for African Americans. That quite often going into the military, whether it's forced or not, made them have better social standing afterwards. And that's a good thing. This is very true. The sacrifice that allowed Colin Kaepernick to kneel was given to him by his forefathers, Black Americans who fought and gave their lives for freedom. I think that sometimes some of these people that got so mad at Kaepernick forget the African American contribution to the sacrifice for freedom. Yeah, right there. Cool Cat saying, I'm going to see Wemby live. I needed to see him at least one game in person. Well, you go to a lot of games. What do you mean you need to see at least one game in person? You go all the time. You want to see Victor. Well, this is our only chance, Toronto. Everybody's going to the game tonight gets to see Victor Wembanyama's first visit to the Raptors and the Scotiabank Arena. Yeah, I'm not going. In some ways, I wish I was, but I'm going Wednesday. And I maybe too many games all at once. In some ways, I was kind of like, maybe I should go to the Spurs game because it is Victor's first trip here. Now, I'd rather see Siakam. I'd rather go on Valentine's Day. See Siakam and Fred. I'll get to see Victor at some point. I know I will. I know I will get to see Victor play in some game at some point. I'll see him play it live at some point. I see everybody play at some point. I really do. Bryce is saying, I know I asked already. Can I join your fantasy league next year? Yeah, of course, Bryce. Of course. You can do the WNBA this summer if you want. We'll do that. Jill's smiling. And Chris is saying, nice. I got to see that too. And Doncic and Jokic, going to be a cool game tonight. But I won my Super Bowl bet. Free round on pool. There you go. There you go. Okay. I'm not even talking about what are you talking about? Doncic and Jokic. You mean it's Dallas versus Denver tonight? Okay, that's interesting. And Mo is going to the game tonight. Okay, that's good information. And we're saying enjoy the game to Cool Cat and Monique from Fiercey. Chris is saying Gray made it. Seems a big contract is coming, but yes, we may have found a power forward off of the 905. Oh, you mean Gay? Mohamedou Gay? Gee made it? Yeah. Chris, you're not totally making sense right now. Let's see. Wayne saying, yes, play in should be a priority. I must say our so-called system players say that they are learning was on display against the Cavs. Cavs had 7 players in double figures and no one above 20. Simple. Yeah, they had really good balance. They had very good balance. Our so-called system players say their learning was on display against the Cavs. Well, once again, as I said many times yesterday, the Cavs are a different level of performance. They're very, very much toned and amped up and really fixed their engine to rev and run very smoothly. They've got everything all lubed up and moving right in the engine mechanisms. And in some ways, we just put our engine back together. We rebuilt it. And we have to get it all smoothed out. And that's part of the reason why they're running so well, is that they're really going real well. They've got things going in a really good way in a lot of ways. Infamous saying Firehouse subs, Trump's Subway, and everything. Firehouse. Yeah, there's not very many around here. Like, I don't see them around Toronto very often. Firehouse? I mean, I don't know. I won't disagree with this. There's better premium sub places for sure. Subway's a very extensive chain everywhere. And in some ways, they water down their quality because of that. And, there's one down in Florida that I don't go to anymore because their owner is a big game hunter and he kills big elephants and lions and all kinds of stuff. And he's proud of it. So I boycott that sub place. And I don't even want to name it because I hate them so much for what they do. But I used to eat there a lot. That place was really good until I found out their owner's a piece of shit. Big game safari hunter that kills very, very big animals that are very, nice animals that deserve to live and not for fucking game sport guy. Fuck face. Mr. Sub is not as good as Subway to me. I don't know. Mr. Sub's weird. I've worked for them too. And I don't know. Their bread's not as good as Subway's, if you ask me, in some ways. Kareem saying Scotty Barnes had, I think, the best game of his career against the Spurs last time they met. He showcased all his talent. I'm going to need Scotty to dunk on Victor tonight and have it all over ESPN heading into the All-Star game. Yeah, getting back to James's question earlier, what is it that Scotty can take it to the next level? Get big highlights, get a lot of attention. That will do it. But I really think the winning percentage of the Raptors winning more will get him the most accolades and attention. But if you get a flashy big play that makes Sports Center top 5 for the night, that's always helpful. That can be helpful in certain ways. Chris is saying, best to kind of forget old players. I still wear my Lowry jersey, but with all these new players we have, I find it more exciting to follow their growth. Players are players and well compensated. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to keep track of former Raptors and just kind of see how they're doing in different places. I mean, I'm not going to forget them, but maybe we have less of an emotional attachment, something we've talked about with Cool Cat quite a bit. And just to be safe and smarter, stuff like that. Let's see. Stargate saying Dennis will be fine. It's the business. It just didn't work out. I personally had no issue with Dennis. Did I have some issues with how he played in certain games? Yes, but he's a good player. Yeah. I mean, let's not get it twisted. I mean, Jill said he's devastated. I mean, he's probably not happy. He's probably like, oh, this isn't how I wanted this to go. But also at the same time, he's a professional. He understands that this kind of shit could happen, and he probably was ready for it just in case. So yeah, I mean, and I think that's fair. You liked him. He was all right as a guy, but sometimes on the court he was annoying. Yeah, I think that's fair. He annoyed me too at times. He wasn't above reproach and absolutely perfect in my eyes. There were times where I was critical of Dennis, and I said stuff like, maybe Dennis, you did try and take over a little bit too much in this game, and there were times for that, but more often I was very pleased with what he was doing. Trevor's saying they didn't know the new rules of the overtime. Well, still, that's no excuse. I don't care. If you are in that kind of level, top level sports, you need to know every fucking thing. You're not prepared correctly for the game if you do not know every fucking thing, especially the rules of the game. Well, that's a fault of the coaches. That's the fault of the organization for not, unless the NFL changed the rules, like they're fucking around, like all of a sudden on the fly, changing rules, not telling anybody, or maybe they changed the rules just for the Super Bowl. They're playing with certain overtime rules the whole season. The Niners have no excuse. If they just changed the rules for the overtime, like for this game last night, well, then I can see why they were confused and maybe they got screwed over that way. But it's fucked up. It's not an excuse to not be prepared, is what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not an excuse. Chris is saying the recent wave of migration to the U.S. will be a path into military service and off to Eastern Europe. Makes me sick, really. Gives you insight into just how hard many people's lives are. Chris, I don't totally understand your comment. And I don't know if it's exactly true either. More often than not, a lot of the people that are coming from immigration, a lot of them are not totally legal and they don't have a direct path to serving for the U.S. They really don't. They got to go through the whole process of becoming a citizen and doing all this stuff. I don't know if the U.S. will conscript and say, oh, this is this. Now, the way you're talking, you're making it sound like we're going into World War or something and that we're going to need to have a draft. No, it's nothing like that. I'm not going to get with your comment here because I don't think that it's exactly accurate. And there is a little bit of expertise in this for me as far as the migration patterns and the reasons why people migrate. I don't think this is accurate. I don't think that, maybe that military wave will be down the road. Like maybe some of the dreamers that came across in the early 2000s, some of them will go in the military after it. But the initial people are too busy trying to get their shit figured out to be here that they're not trying to jump right into the military afterwards. I don't know. I don't get your comments exactly right here. And I don't know. I don't know. You may be going a little too far with your own perception of what you see with all this. And yeah, these conflicts in other places, it's not like we're sending our own troops there. So that doesn't make any sense, Chris. It's not like U.S. troops are like there's special troops that are undercover there, but it's not like we're sending massive amounts of people to the Ukraine to help them fight off the Russians. That's not happening. There's no draft right now. They're not asking people in the States to come and join the military because there's actually no conflict the U.S. is in where they need the soldiers. They're just sending money to Israel, which is gross and fucked up, but they're not actually doing it themselves. And it's not like they're sending tons and tons of Americans over there to help defend Ukraine either. So I don't get this comment. I'm sorry. Stargate saying every player on the team now has some sort of needed development, whether it's IQ, RJ, even Scotty. All of them have something they need to work on and get better in the offseason. Even Darko. Yeah, I won't disagree with this. I mean, the coach, he's always trying to make more experience for himself and understanding. Nick read a lot of books. I'm sure Darko reads a lot of books. He keeps up to date on coaching trends and things that are happening in all different levels. I'm sure that he's always studying that kind of stuff. Sometimes coaches are studying things about like philosophies and other sports, and they get ideas from stuff like that. Like maybe they read about the NFL and coaches in the NFL, and they find out like, well, this is a parallel I can put to the NBA, and maybe I can utilize this kind of mindset as this NFL coach or this football soccer coach, or there's all kinds of like philosophies and searching for ideas by coaches if they're good coaches. They let the world pass them by, and they're not up to date on it. Well, the game can pass them by, and they're not as good a coach all of a sudden because of it. So that is important for the coach. Even it goes without saying what you're saying about the players, obviously, and they'll all have their own specific plans for how they're going to develop them this summer. Scotty's going to be very interesting. Grady, Very, very interesting. And I'm sure IQs will be very interesting too. RJ's is kind of, let's go play for Canada and just develop yourself even further that way. That's kind of what RJ's is already. Let's see. Stargate saying Raptors are going to be okay. I believe that too. And Chris is saying Senator Dick Durbin mentioned this. That's all. Dick Durbin? Okay. Yeah, I'm not even paying attention to U.S. politics. It's dumpster fire. They annoy me. Let's just put it that way. All right. We're at not a bad time. We're right before 11. Interesting. All right. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything real quick. Let's see. Yeah, once again, the Spurs, they don't have very extensive injuries. They're only missing Marcus Morris Sr. and Charles Bassey. They've lost 7 in a row. So let's make it 8 tonight, Raptors. Let's beat the Spurs here in Toronto tonight. The Raptors, their injury is just Marquise Noel. Nobody else listed. Jonte's not listed. None of the starters or anybody else. So Marquise is the only one out for the Raptors. The ref crew is John Goebel, Tom Washington, and Jonathan Sterling. John Goebel and Tom Washington favor the Spurs. Jonathan Sterling favors the Raptors, which is very interesting. And let's see. If you guys have a Yahoo Fantasy team, make sure you check it out and get it set up for a new week of matchups. I lost to the Dick Picks. I did not take his undefeated away. He is now 16-0. Good job. And it looks like this week I'm playing against Fiercey. So Fiercey, get your team ready because you're playing the old Raptors freak this week. And let's see who's going to get a chance to try and take down the Dick Pick this week. Oh, wow. This is a marquee matchup. We got 16-0 JP Country Kong versus Peter Saborin Stars at 15-1. So 15-1 versus 16-0. That's a marquee matchup for this week. Wow. Peter versus JP. We'll have to see who wins that one. And then, of course, me against Fiercey. Let's go, Fiercey Salsera. Play some fantasy basketball this week. All right, y'all. Let's see what else y'all are saying right at the end here. Bryce is saying, even though Oshai didn't give a good first impression, remember, this is his sophomore year. He's just a little bit more polished than Grady, but in ways, him and Grady are very similar players. Well, the one thing about Baji is he went 4 years at Kansas. So in some ways, that's different than Grady. Grady only went 1. So he is more polished than Grady because he actually went 4 years of school. And I like that about Abaji. Trust me. I like that he went all 4 years at Kansas. That's a plus. You know, I'm going to watch him very closely. I just saying, like, let's not really key on me just saying, oh, he didn't make a good first impression with me. And let's not make a big deal out of it. Let's see how he does tonight. And we'll talk about it again tomorrow. It's just one game. And honestly, it's his first one back. And you're right, Bryce. We can make a lot of excuses for Abaji. I'm not worried about him in some ways. I just want to see more. I'm discovering him is what it is. Blackhawk saying Ukraine doesn't have resources that America wants, which is why they are not sending troops. Therefore, they will fund Ukraine as a war by proxy. Poke thy enemy. Yeah, that's basically their technique is send equipment and money and supplies and stuff. There's some, mercenaries coming from places here, Canada, U.S., private citizens going over there and helping in the war of Ukraine. There's no official. There's some undercover special units for the U.S. military that's over there involved in it. But for the most part, that's not what's happening over there as far as we're sending people over there to help defend it. No. That's not what it is. And in some ways, if we did send people over there, that may be an act of war. And that may make Putin, although he's already weakened, he has no nuts. He's been chopped off. In some ways, Russia is not the world power that they were before the Ukraine conflict. They really shot themselves in the foot. They've absolutely weakened their economy. They've weakened their military. They're begging China. In fact, Russia's become China's bitch. They don't have bullets to shoot. They're just crying out for China to manufacture bullets to send them to have on the front line. They're rationing military equipment. Bo of the Fifth Columns told me that they've been losing huge military spy planes that the Russians use are getting shot down, and they don't normally get shot down. Those are those planes with the dish on the top that fly around, and they're kind of like the eyes and ears for the Russian military to know what's going on. Well, the Ukraine forces shot one of those motherfuckers down, and apparently they only have 3 or 4 of them. And it's a really huge blow to communications for the Russian army in this conflict. So they're really a weakened state. Russia, it doesn't have the ability to fight any more fronts. If there were other problems somewhere else, they'd be fucked right now. That country is in really bad shape. They're not anywhere near the footing they were on. That's the fucked up miscalculation of Putin and his bullshit, that he really shot himself in the foot. He's made his country weaker than it was when they started, and he's failed in this trying to take over Ukraine. He needs to go home and just stop. It's just a waste of money and lives at this point, and he's not going to get anywhere. He's already failed. Is basically like, because he's destroyed his country, and that country is doing so badly economically with all the sanctions, and they're using so much of their youth to go into the military and die. It's just he's running that country in the ground, and the stability and the strength of the Russian country is done. There's other countries that are way more powerful than them. They were equal with China to a degree, but now China owns Russia at this point. This is a little bitch, and that's their own damn fault. They weakened themselves by getting greedy and trying to take a country that isn't theirs. Well, you get what you get, Vladimir. That's what I say right there. You get what you get. And your country is going to be reeling and fucked up for decades, maybe even a century to come because of your miscalculation and stupidity, honestly. Yeah. So we get involved in it. In some ways, Russia may get a little bit more wounded dog and stupid with a button or something like that. So the Americans can't get involved in this directly. Exactly. It's important. Wayne's saying, I just find it amusing that professional players have to be taught to pass the ball. Watching G Leaguers not pass and chuck shots like Paige on 905, I see on the NBA level as well. Practice to pass the ball. All right, you just brought it up. I was going to forget to talk about Windy City Bulls lost yesterday. I'm going to have to be honest. I fell asleep during the game. I guess I was really tired yesterday, and I slept through the game. I saw that they were down by double digits, and then I dozed off. All right, but let's bring up the box score real quick, and I'll do my 3 stars of the game, even though it's just me looking at the box score. And I really tried to watch it, but it was so boring. I fell asleep. And Monique's probably laughing about what I'm saying right now. That, the G League Raptors 905 put me to sleep yesterday. Kobe Simmons was the player of the game. He was absolutely fantastic. If anything, he was a bright spot. 10 of 19 from the field, 26 points, 3 of 9 from 3, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. Kobe Simmons was the player of the game, number 1 star of the game. Unfortunately, the Raptors 905 missed too many free throws. We know that this is a real problem because free throws there count for 2, not just 1. And it's just a real problem. The 905 really sucked. Their starting lineup was interesting with all the guys gone. They really brought everybody up that's as good as they can be. They have new players on their bench also because of the guys getting called up recently. My second star of the game for the Raptors 905 loss to the Windy City Bulls yesterday is Drake Jeffries. Drake Jeffries off the bench was 4 of 8 from 3, 4 of 9 overall from the field. So he only took 1 shot that wasn't a 3, and he missed it. 14 points with 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 steals, and a block. Yeah, Drake Jeffries off the bench in 28 minutes. Not bad. I like the 50% three-point shooting. The third star of the game for me is Kevin O'Banner. Kevin O'Banner holding down the fort with Justice and Mohamedou leaving. He's now going to be one of the primary front court players. 15 points in 36 minutes, 4 of 9 shooting, 3 for 3 at the free throw line, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 2 blocks. A bit of stat stuffing by Kevin O'Banner. The other guys, Javon Freeman Liberty in his return to Windy City just shot really badly. 6 of 20 from the field. He had 4 turnovers also, 24 points in 46 minutes. Yeah, he played every single minute of that game except for 2. Jayshawn Page, 2 for 7 with 5 points. McCurr, 2 for 5 with 5 points. Those are 2 of the starters. And then the rest of the bench, Mari Moore, 2 points. Miles Burns, 6. Fletcher, 2. And then some new guy, Anel, and I only got 0 points. So, yeah, 905 losing again. But, hey, all their guys have been called up. We cleared them out of all their good players, Jonte, Marquise, Mogi, and Justice Winslow. They're all up on the big club now, so 905 is going to suck. That's just how it is. Losing to the Windy City Bulls yesterday. What was the final score? 113-99, 14-point loss. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see. Wayne saying, I just find it amusing. Oh, wait, I read that one. G saying, can O'Shea be a Norman Powell type? I don't know. That is kind of the player type. It's kind of like a big I don't know, like Russell Westbrook is the description. He's not as good as Russell, obviously, but in some ways the character build, the player build is kind of like that. It's just like, of course, he's not the level of Russell, but the body type and the kind of things that he should be able to do is like a lower level Russell Westbrook. I think that's in some ways Norman is comparative to Russell Westbrook. They're on the same team right now, and in some ways they're comparative. So I would compare him more to Westbrook than Powell. Maybe partly because he's shorter. Powell's a little bit bigger. I don't know. I don't know who's bigger. Maybe that's not a bad comparison. Norman Powell. Maybe he's that archetype, that kind of that big guard. Let's see. Bryce is saying he definitely can. Stargate saying I still have hopes for Jalen McDaniels. I still think he can be better. Yeah, he's still got a chance. He's still in the mix. There's still time. There's still opportunity coming. Wayne saying Stargate, that's a losing proposition. About which one? I got to remember. Raptors are gonna be okay. That's what he's saying. I don't know. I don't know which one that's replying to. I don't know. You're talking about McDaniels? You don't like him? I still have hope for him. I have hope for McDaniels too. Blackhawks saying it's only an act of war if we attack Russian soil. Okay. All right. Well, either way, they've done that though. That's the crazy thing. The Ukrainians have bombed Russia. They've done certain things on Russian soil for sure already. Yeah. Blackhawks saying even America doesn't have the appetite for foreign wars unless they can cannibalize resources. He's cynical, but he's right. This is the whole reason why they go to certain places they don't. Is there oil? Is there some sort of thing we can capitalize and make money off of? He's exactly right. He's exactly right. Cowboy saying, I'm back. Have fun at the game, cool cat. There you go. Wayne saying, Lex and yourself can have hope. Wish him well on a different team. Big fail. Wayne's not a Jalen McDaniels fan, and he's ready to see him go somewhere else. Well, we'll see. He's under contract for now. We might as well get usage out of him while we still have him. If they decide not to go further with him, you'll be right, Wayne. Otherwise, if they do, then I gotta trust Bobby and Messiah that they see something in him that maybe you don't. That's all. All due respect, it's fair. Infamous is saying, why do we have insert money into equation when talking about players? They're human element that trumps the money. Have some compassion, folks. I think that in some ways the argument is that general people that are in their everyday lives struggling to make ends meet shouldn't be worried about millionaires' lives having to be uprooted and changed. And I get behind that too. In some ways, yeah, let's talk about this fairly in the lens of in some ways the money makes it easier. As much as Fred needs to move to Houston and uproot his whole entire life that he had in Toronto, well, the money makes it easier. And in some ways, that's the argument that people are making. If they were, yeah, I get it. In some ways, it's like, look, they're public, they're in front of everybody's face. In some ways, why do we feel so sorry for them? They're rich. They're absolutely rich. I get that argument, but I also like what you're saying here. They're human beings still, and especially if they're good humanitarian, rich people that give back so much, like they're giving to charities, they're giving to their time. Dennis is very nice to all kinds of charities, I'm sure. In some ways, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing. In some ways, it's like, it's true. We're not putting average Joe across the street who's having a hard time just putting food on the table and making rent. We should be talking about them more, but they're not in the public eye. And in some ways, I understand why people say, "Oh, I'm not going to feel sorry for somebody who has an NBA multi-million-dollar contract. I'm sorry if they have to move." I get that argument. I get why people are like that, but I'm with you too. I think compassion's important. And children, they don't matter in the money thing. Dennis Schroeder Jr. and his birthday party and him, yeah, he has a charmed life. He's taken care of, but in some ways, he's still a child, and he still has to go through all this and have to deal with it. And daddy not around because he plays basketball. Well, in some ways, this may be more awkward and tough because they got roots in Toronto, and like now, daddy's playing for the Nets. And that can be annoying. Maybe they don't see daddy as much all of a sudden. Monique's saying, you bet I am. She's going to that game. She'll be down there. Chris is saying, only because they make so much money and being traded is not some calamity. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm just saying right there. Stargate saying, Blackhawk blocked me. Oh, if he did that, that's not when were you blocked, Stargate? Yeah, he's saying he did block you. Maybe he means he blocked you with the comment, not literally on there. It's like we do dunks. Well, maybe there's a block. Let's see. Carlos saying Fred Jr. forcing Fred to watch Raptors games. That was hilarious. I love that so much. Fred Jr., you're always going to be a real one. I can tell. It's the kind of thing where it's like it's taken into his early psyche as a child. The Raptors game was so important. He loved watching daddy play for the Raptors. Well, it's not changing. He still wants to watch the Raptors. It could be very well be Fred Jr. gets older and older. He understands what happened, but he's still like, I love the Raptors. I've always loved the Raptors. That's where daddy played in the beginning, was the Raptors. So who knows? I hope that Fred VanVleet Jr. is a lifelong Raptors fanatic. Maybe he'll be on the Raptor Freak channel with us when he gets old enough and he's not a child anymore. And the barriers of YouTube won't hold it away from him. He might find us. You're like, I'm a Raptor Freak too, guys. Hey, who's this? I'm Fred VanVleet Jr. Oh my gosh. I can't believe you're in our chat, Fred VanVleet Jr. You're a Raptor Freak? I love it. All right. You're a good one. All right, let's see. Blackhawk saying, actually, how did I block you? You may have misclicked something. Y'all know you can do that, like with the little 3 dots. You can like do stuff like put user in timeout, hide user. Oh, that's for me because it's my channel. But you guys can block each other too. Like if somebody's really annoying you that's in this chat all the time too, you can block them if you don't want to see their shit. Yeah. Stargate saying at Blackhawk, oh, I didn't see any of your comments, Lex Red. Once again, y'all, top live chat. Look at the top. If it says top live chat, there may be excluding one person, and that's why Jill didn't see Popeye or Snoopy Popeye. Some sort of animation character, Snoopy, Popeye, same thing. Yeah, Carlos saying Fred Jr. is a lifelong Raps fan now. That's right. In some ways, his identity is being born with the championship. In some ways, that may just marry him to the idea of like, I'm a Raptors fan for the rest of my life because when I was born, they won the championship. In some ways, that may be part of the specialness of it right there. I could see that. I could see that. All right, I did the ref recap and the other stuff. I'll do the main event marquee matchup real quick, and we'll finish up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Scotiabank Arena today for a basketball matchup between the San Antonio Spurs and the Toronto Raptors. Tonight, we have a matchup in the middle between some big guys. We got a tag team wrestling match. We're going to have on 2 sides. We got 2 different sides. First, for the San Antonio side, coached by Greg Popovich from France, the number 1 pick from this past year's NBA draft, Victor Wembanyama, and his tag team partner in this Texas Tornado wrestling, Texas Tornado Texas match with the Texas team. Texas Tornado means no tags. You can just run in and out of the ring. Zach Collins is his backup, his partner. So it'll be Victor and Zach against, for the Raptors, from Austria, number 19, Jakob Pertl, the big center, the former Spur, and his partner from Canada, Scarborough Blues, number, I guess he's 7. No, he's 41. Number 41, Kelly Olynyk. So we're going to have a little tag team action, pro wrestling style. I want to see Kelly Olynyk break Victor in half. Not literally. I just mean like in the match. Yeah. In the pro wrestling style. Fake. Yeah, not really. I don't want him to really hurt Victor. But I want to see a good, clean match. And yeah, these guys are going to win. Jakob and Kelly in this feud, this tag team match. Crazy. Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. Okay. You guys figured out the blocking thing. Blackhawk saying Lex is right. Click all messages. Don't worry. I have grandpa moments with technology too. We're all here to help each other through. Man, y'all have seen me with this mic and coming on here and talking like this. Yeah, I didn't say anything. I was completely silent through that whole thing and just acting like I was saying stuff. No, we have our grandpa moments. Microphone not on. Yeah, we have those. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah. All right, let's see. Seymour is saying big up to Scarborough Blues players. That's right. Former alumni, former Scarborough Blue himself. Looking forward to seeing Scarborough Blue, Kelly Olynyk. That's right. That's right. Finger waving. Seymour saying in Scarborough Thunder, which is a football squad, I played that too. Rep your city. Scarborough Thunder. Like that. That's cool. Yeah, fake silence, y'all. Fake silence, and then also the freeze. Yeah, Dennis, you think you're the only one who uh, you think you're the only one who can do the freeze? Of course, we got a freeze and a fake silence today. Wow. Fake silence. That's a new move there. Yeah. Chris is saying this is my favorite part of the show. When we do the freeze and the fake silence. Yeah. Stargate saying, yeah, old age is, you know what? You know what? Yeah, yes. You played for the Thunder, Seymour? Wow. Wow. Wayne saying, are we doing the most efficient and effective reset in NBA history? Seems so. I like that description. I think that really seriously, I think that like Masai and Bobby are like gangsters. They're like, you know what? We're gonna do things different. Everybody thinks that you have to suck when you rebuild a team. We're gonna show everybody you can do it without sucking. Yeah, I'm all about that kind of rebellion. It's like, no, we don't need to suck to reset the team. We're gonna be winning still. Watch. I'm all about that, Wayne. I love it. Kareem saying Mississauga Warriors, bitch. Uh-oh. No, no, no. Mississauga Warriors versus Scarborough Thunder. That sounds like some high school shit. Oh, yeah, it does. It sounds like Kareem. Now, I know Kareem was a very good young football player. Very, very good. So I'm sure he came with that warrior mentality from Mississauga. That's right. Seymour was a flanker, which is a wide receiver. Okay, yeah. And I know that Kareem was the RB. Yeah, he was the running back. So, yeah, this would be fun. It'd be fun to see a little football game with the Raptor Freaks involved. OVFL. OVFL. Okay, OVFL. That's the position, right? Yeah. Blackhawks saying, has anyone else made it to the NBA from the CBL besides, I think, Coffee? Amir Coffee? I think that Higgins counts too, right? Wasn't Austin Higgins? Wasn't he in the CBL also? I think he was. He played for the 905 and he went and played for one of the Canadian Elite Basketball League teams. And he's now full-fledged Orlando Magic, right? Or no, he got traded this trade deadline, didn't he? I don't know. I want to look at that. Austin Higgins. Let me look at that. We'll go ahead and go on the Basketball Reference real quick. I hope they have CEBL in the Basketball Reference. Y'all may need to do that, y'all. Seriously. Let me see. Where's Higgins? Higgins. That's not the guy, is it? No, it's not Higgins. It's not Higgins. It's Keon. Keon. What was his name? Why am I not remembering his name? It's not Austin Higgins. It's he's on the Magic. He was on the 905 a couple years ago. Oh my gosh, Monique's gonna know who it is. I'm trying to remember. It's what's his name? Keon. Isn't it Keon something? It's not Dooley. It's Keon. What is his last name, y'all? Why am I not remembering him? Man, I don't know. Either Harris. It's Harris. His name is Harris. I know his name is Harris. It's Kevon Harris, right? Man, what's wrong with me? I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, I should just wrap up the show. I'm right at the end anyway. Let's see. Seymour saying, I got them Kawhi hands. Okay. All right. And Jimmy saying, we have a bright future in Scott, RJ, and Quick. I agree, Jimmy Poe. Trevor saying, Lex, can't wait until you get the rest of the package to see your reaction. That'll be fun. I don't know. Trevor, send me a message and tell me when I should expect it to arrive so I can be ready to get it from my porch before anybody from the bus stop finds it. Let's see. Seymour saying Kareem East versus West. There you go. Yeah. Seymour versus Kareem in the old football battles. Keon is still on the Magic. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. And please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Kevon Harris. It's Kevon Harris, right? Kevon Harris. Let me see if I can find him still. Okay, hang on. I found the right spelling. Yeah, Kevon Harris. Yeah, they're not going to have CBL on here. There's no CBL on Basketball Reference yet. You're going to have to do that, though, Basketball Reference, just so you know. You're going to have to do it at some point because that league is going to blow up. And we're going to need the Basketball Reference stats for the CEBL added on there. Yeah. Let's see. Milbester's here. Oh, Milbester right at the end. Thank God we're at the All-Star break. Knicks catch a break. I didn't know Kevon was on CBL. I think he did. I think he did play for one of the teams just briefly for a second. I may be completely wrong. Either way, y'all, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here, Milbester. Bye. Have a good day. Let's go Raptors. Beat the Spurs and Victor Wembanyama tonight. Let's go Raptors.